This is part 4 of the Airbnb project in Sketchup. In part 3, I made the roof extension for the porch, and I decided to try this big giant arc shape thing. The great thing about Sketchup is if you end up not liking it, you can always change it. So that may be what I do. So now I'm going to do the bottom part of the porch. So the foundation, the porch slab, and the poles and things that are going to hold up the roof. So first I need to measure how much my roof overhang is, because I added another 2 feet to the depth of it after I finished the last video, and now I forgot how big it is. So I'm going to do a measurement. This is the other thing that the tape measure tool does really well. It will measure between 2 points, and so that's 14 feet deep. Now my roof overhang is 2 feet, so I need to subtract 2 feet from that 14, so my porch slab is going to be 12 feet deep. And from it's going to be 12 feet deep from this wall, and this wall is 3 feet deep, so it's going to be 15 feet from the corner of the house. So now I'm going to turn my roof off. I'm going to hide my roof so I can more easily work with this stuff, and it looks like I have an extra guideline I need to get rid of. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from an outside corner out along the axis 13 feet, 12 feet. Yeah, 12 feet, 15 feet, not 115 feet. This is what happens when I try to do too many things. Okay, 15 feet. If that ends up being wrong, of course, I can always change it. So, all right, so now this end point is going to be a snap point for the corner of my slab. And my slab is actually going to go all the way from this corner, this end point here, all the way to the back corner of the building, because it's going to be the slab for the entire building, including the porch. So I'm going to do a rectangle, and I'm going to start it at this back corner, and I'm going to bring it all the way out to this corner here. Now remember, your walls are a group, so this rectangle that I just drew is not connected to the walls. So I'm going to spin it underneath, and I'm going to push-pull that rectangle down about 8 inches, and that's going to form the foundation of the building and the front porch. Now I'm going to put some posts and stuff on this front porch to hold up the roof that's hidden, and I don't want them to be attached to this slab, so I'm going to make the slab a group as well. So I'm going to triple click it, and then right click, make group. And if you prefer to use components, you can do that too. Same thing. All right, now at the 2 corners, I'm going to build a couple of posts to hold the roof up, and I'm just going to make them square. You can do some research on the internet and find, ideas for porch posts if you want to put columns in, something decorative or something simple, or you could do round or square, whatever you want to draw, that's fine. Okay, but what I'm going to do is just for right now a simple rectangle, and because the edge of my slab lines up with the edge of my wall, my post is going to go right on that corner. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. Oh, come on. And I'm going to make it, try 10 inches, 10, 10, 10, 10 square. I may end up making it bigger or even smaller. And then I'm going to push-pull that up 10 feet, because that is my wall height. And I want to make a copy of it over here, so I need to make it a group too. Triple click it and make group. And now I can copy this over to the other corner. So I'm going to use the Move tool and click the Control key to make it a copy using the Move tool. And I'm just made my copy at the other end. Now you'll see here that I've already brought in a component. I wanted to put an outdoor fireplace in the middle, so I went over here to the components area and I searched for some outdoor fireplaces and found one, and I had to do some editing to it because it wasn't quite right, but I think it'll work now. So I'm going to move my component. Oops, have to select it first, and now I'm going to move it to, sometimes you got to hunt around here. I was trying to find the midpoint. Let me just move it over here. Midpoint in fireplace to midpoint on the slab, if I can find it. It's probably further over. There it is. Midpoint, midpoint, midpoint. Okay. Now, that fireplace is actually pretty massive, and so I might end up moving it out a little bit or even scaling it down because it's pretty big in relation to the house, right? So I might end up scaling the whole thing down a little bit, but I just wanted to show you that you can find components, ready-made components, that are already in, the 3D warehouse. So all you have to do is search, like outdoor fireplace, and you'll get 63 pages of results. And some of them are really cool, and some of them are horrible, and most of them you're going to have to do some editing to once you bring it in. I actually had tried to work with a couple of others before I ended up with this one, but there's some really crazy fancy ones, and if you want to put like a fire pit in instead, you can do that. But see how this one has a whole outdoor kitchen, right? So you could bring something like that in and even reuse that top part of that outdoor kitchen as part of your roof on your patio. So you can find things, and look how great that one is. Isn't that beautiful? So anyway, you can find things in 3D Warehouse to bring in. Okay, now I'm going to close that. And I'm going to unhide my roof, and we'll see what that looks like now. That is not too bad, actually. Let me go to my view and close that. That actually looks pretty nice. I think I might have to increase the height on my fireplace just a little bit. It looks like it's not sticking up through the roof enough, but that's actually not too bad. I might want to put some sort of decorative stuff on my posts. I might put some brackets, decorative brackets or something on there. You can put a base on them. If you want to search 3D Warehouse for decorative posts. You might find some interesting things in there. Some of those are kind of weird. 54 pages of them. Oh, and a lot of these are for lighting. But like on that one, you might be able to use something like that. But see how it's got the little brackets and stuff on it? So you could possibly take something like this and then edit it to delete the parts you don't need and then keep the parts that you like. Okay, just remember to regroup things or turn them into components because it's much easier to move these complex shapes around if they're one object in the program. Okay, so I'm going to delete that just to get it out of the way and make sure that I am still in my view. It wasn't quite in my view. Remember, we want to do the PDF of the same view every time. Okay, So I'm going to print my PDF. I'm going to save this and print my PDF. And in part 5, we're going to put furniture on the outdoor patio and make sure that everything that we want to have out there actually fits. And then we'll put materials on it. And then the final step will be doing the sunlight and shadows and doing the landscaping.